Good morning. So today we are going to make a comprehensive video of the 91 Jeep XJ or YJ steering column, switches, all the things. So let's get into it. That way you know what you're looking at before you get there. I've already gotten this one mostly taken apart. So you're going to need a T27. You're going to need flathead screwdrivers. If you do not have a steering wheel puller, highly recommend getting one. I used this. If you don't know what that looks like, it's one of those guys. Now, if you go online, someone will say, "Oh, you got to have the U-shaped one." That's not true. Not true at all, because I did it with this. So what you want to do to get this guy off, you get your little snap ring out, that little guy, and you don't have that tool, you will take a 3/4 and your steering wheel nut, that guy, and you put your 3/4 on there, and you're going to tighten it down with that nut. Give it just enough space that you can get that guy in there, and it'll look like that. And the reason I use this is because it gave me the room I need to get a flathead screwdriver, a little one. I used there we go, that guy. I used that guy to get under there, and I used an Allen wrench and some vice grips to hold on to it. See, I had to figure this out because I'm stuck in a Walmart parking lot and no one is coming to save me. So if no one's coming to save you, you can do this too, or you can do it at home where your tools are. So if you don't have a pick, that'll work. Flathead screwdriver will work. You do need a 21mm socket. You'll need a T27 if you don't have the puller that you're supposed to have. Get yourself one of these. This is a 12-inch adjustable crescent wrench, and flathead screwdriver, and something to get this guy out, because you got to get that guy out so you can get that guy off. This is for your horn. I'm not going to reuse that. Someone wired in another horn under the dash. I don't know why they did that, but I'm not putting that back in because I don't need it. So anyway, you're going to get that on there. Get that on there, and you're going to put that on there over that ring, and you're going to get your 3/4 bolted to the shaft here, right there. And then you're going to just push that ring in, and you'll be able to get that clip out of there. Perfect. Great. Moving on. I found this to be interesting because I didn't know what was behind here. I've apart. So this, whoop, right here, that mechanism right here, get my pointer, right there, turns on this gear. Mine was out of placement, so it wouldn't turn at all. This is for your high beams. That's what this little guy is right here, this rod. When you put this back together, you've got your lock that needs to go in here, And that lock will go in one of those tangs right there. And that's what locks the steering wheel. Okay, so this plastic piece here, right here, this goes in to your selector switch. Right there. Let's move this out of the way so we can see. Oh yeah. There we go. So that plastic piece will slide right up in that hole right there. In that hole right there. So it'll slide right up in there. And you're going to want to be careful and gentle and do this slowly. Do not force this. You will break it and then you will be buying a whole nother steering column. Well, I have no good place. You're just going to have to hang out with me for a second. So you're going to want to take your left hand. That's that plastic piece that I was telling you about. Right there. And it goes this way. Turn around here. It goes this way, right there. Up against that metal bar that I was telling you about. So that metal bar is for your high beams. And if you don't have this plastic piece in here, your high beams won't work anymore. I don't know about you, but I want my high beams to work. Even though the rest of this thing is highly suspect and questionable, I want my stuff to work when I'm done with it. Alright, checking to make sure it pushes that bar. It pushes that bar. Perfect. Awesome. Now, I'm going to have to call him back. Anyhow, you're going to take your three big screws, your T27s. You put those back in. Oh, who's that? These are your T27s. There's 3 of them. They're in a triangle pattern. I'm going to put those back in. Show you where those go here in a second. So there's 1, 2, and the third one goes down here. We're going to put that third one in. Do not lose any of your parts. Put them safely somewhere. I'm using the tray that sits underneath the 4-wheel drive selector. That's a good place. I can't put my foot there. I can't knock it out of the way. And like I said, I'm broke down in a Walmart parking lot, so I'm not going to drive anywhere for it to fall out. Alright, so that guy's in there. We're good. Now, this guy right here. Alright? So I grabbed this with some needle nose pliers just like this, and to get that out you're going to want to push that spring down so it sits in there like this, and you're going to want to get your flathead screwdriver underneath it, push this forward and pull it out at the same time. That's how that guy comes out. And to put it back, let me get the other finger here. Put it back in. See the hole right there, right by the screw. Just goes in just like that. And that's in. That's in, that ain't going nowhere. Alright, we're going to take this guy. We're going to get him lined up. So, well, lined up. Alright, that's lined up with the screw holes. We're going to put the screws in that. And those screws are on my magnet. Super simple. I have one of those little Diridium or whatever the hell they're called. It's a Neo magnet. And those things are phenomenal. It's what's holding all my pieces. And since I have a cage in my Jeep, I just stick it to my roll cage and use it whenever I need it. Those will be the three that hold in this plastic. And these are specific screw. They're a plastic screw. They're made for plastic. If you can tell, they have two different threads on there. One big thread, one small thread. These are specifically designed for plastic parts. You do not want to put drywall screws or anything else in here. You will ruin the threads and it'll be junk. And it'll be going to the junkyard maybe to try to find another one if you can. The reality is finding an XJ or a YJ with the steering column that's not junk, it's going to be really hard. Anyhow, okay. So we got this little guy down here. This guy bolts right here. So we're going to get him out of here. I just pushed it aside down here to get it out of the way so I didn't break anything. It is attached to your selector switch. So I'm going to take my flathead. I'm going to take two flatheads. Actually, I think this is the one I used to get the pick out. It's slightly smaller, slightly thinner. This works better. Alright, grab this little guy. Yeah, we're gonna use the needle nose pliers instead of trying to chopstick this thing out of here with flathead screwdrivers. Alright, that little bar, that's what that looks like. It's got a little nub on the end there. It rides on the selector. Oh. Yep, it goes in a slot in the selector. Alright, let me show you. So there is a slot back here. I don't have, it's not great light, sorry. There's a slot right there. You can see right there. Right there. See where this hole is right here? That slot right behind my finger, there's a slot there that nub slides into. And what I did to get this lined up is I push this guy back up, and now I can put my screw in there and everything will work just fine. Well, this is a uncut video. I'm not getting a phone call and I'm in the middle of doing a video. Okay, well, I didn't get a call. Give me a second. Oh, that's what I was doing here. Oh no! Oh no! This is the screw that goes in the selector. All right, and the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to put on this guy. I'm in the middle of something. Take a picture of the back window. There's a gentleman asking me if I had a card. So that's cool. Alright, so we got this guy here. I'm going to spin him to this position. This has splines on it. Right there. And so does the shaft. So it only goes on one way. We're going to figure out how that goes on. You're going to... There's a spring. Oh, there's a spring. Spring goes behind that right there. That plate goes on. Your C-clip goes on. Plate squish down, put the C-clip in. That'll retain that. And then you can put the rest of the steering wheel back together. And mine's modified. Right here. Because I have an aftermarket wheel. But this goes on there. And you can just use an impact. Or a hammer. Or whatever. And just smash that on there. Make sure it's centered. And everything's done.